Alright, welcome back. So I'm basically going to be walking you all through what we're doing on Thursday. Um, so every Thursday we get marquee matchups and we invest for it every week, a little bit differently some weeks. I noticed we had not gotten a Bundesliga requirement so far, so I went heavily on Bundesliga players, especially goalkeepers. And if you guys want to look at marquee matchups, you can see it did end up hitting. Leverkusen and Bayern players are going to go up. I did buy a lot of goalkeepers because obviously you need a goalkeeper every single squad you do. So we're going to go ahead and check. We're going to go ahead and see what Bayern's goalkeeper is at first. Because I know I have some of him. It might be taking me a little while to find him and things like that. But if we look up goalkeeper Bayern, and you can see he's already almost 4K, which is ridiculous. I don't know if I can get to the ones that I have. But even if I can sell them for like 2K, that's literally a dub. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go up and we're going to try to find Ulrich first. He could go higher. I don't anticipate him going really higher though. But we should have hopefully a few of him in here. If not, I have a big unassigned pile I can go through too. So here we go, Ulrich. Let's see if we can just get 2,500. And then we can go ahead and see what other ones we have. 2,500. Which they're insta-selling, so maybe we go 2,700. Still insta-selling, so then we can go all the way up to 3K. That one might not have insta-sold, so that might be our limit there. But as you can see, we spent 450 on those cards. We already sold a 900 keeper as well. So as you can see here, we are just flying up with the coins already, and that's just from Ulrichs, and that's just from what we can see of Ulrich. So we can go over here. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything there of Ulrichs, but I am unassigned pretty heavily as well, so I can't even see if there's more Ulrichs inside. But we can go through, see if there's any in here. I did get some other random cards just to fill out the club as well, because you do always want to have other investments just in case they don't bang as well, because no matter what, you're going to be making money. You can see I picked up a lot of Woolies for literally 450 coins, and he's a striker that is in the team of the week, but his card is basically discard, so there's literally no risk there at all. And as you can see here, we're able to start selling these hitses at 900. We can see if Munev will sell at 900. Hits already sold, so I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision. I know I have a ton of hitses. I'm not even going to look at Leverkusen right now. I know I have a ton of hitses that is just taking up room. So what we can do here is see what he's going for around. So you can see he's all the way up at 1,500. We were selling ours at 900, which is a bit of an L, but we can list one at 13, see how long it takes to sell. And we can either take the doubled money at 900 coins. Some of these keepers I will have paid a little bit more for. Some of them I think I paid 450 for, 500. Just because golds were already inflated, but nothing too expensive there. So if hits is up, I'm curious. There's another Bundesliga goalkeeper on Dortmund. I should know that as liking Dortmund, like being a fan of Dortmund, but I'm not honestly sure what his rating is or his name. So we can see he's still shifting upwards and upwards and upwards. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is I'm going to list him at like 1,700. See if we can get a sell on that, and then we'll go check the Leverkusen players. I hit the wrong button. But it is a lot of little bits of work here, and you got to do some actual grinding. I'm just going to do 1,800 because that's easier to post like that. So we'll put a couple for 18. We'll go ahead and put Bauman up at 18, see if he can sell. Because if we see a lot of keepers rising, that's very good for us in terms of that. I don't know if there's wingbacks in the formation, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put them up at like 8. Because things like that don't bang as much as these goalkeepers do, because you definitely need a goalkeeper in every team you're doing. Like you can scroll through a few pages, try to get an idea of what they're going for. And since you have so much space, going to be a little more precise with Jarsteins, because I'm pretty sure I have a lot of Jarsteins as well. Which I think, once again, it has banged So we are going to be swimming in coins. It's looking like that might be a little bit of an aggressive list. But like I said, we're just trying to feel out where prices are at and what we can sell cards at. So you can see here we did sell hits at 1,300. So what we're going to do, going to see if we can sell one at 15. The 18s haven't sold yet, but I need to go look at Leverkusen players. And I also need to look if I have any more Bayern players in my club. As you can see here, this team I'm rocking with for the objective, I haven't gotten around to finishing it off yet. I just played that one game for you guys, and Kobel is the guy I was thinking of. Let's look for Bayern players, though. I don't know if I'm going to have anyone besides the goalkeeper. I do have a Choupo-Moting as well. And like I'm perfectly fine doing this a different day, so let's see if we can get 2,500 out of him. And then there's another Ulrich. I believe I even have a silver goalkeeper. I don't know if the rating is going to be like I need a certain rating, but I can probably pull it up with a silver as well. Yes, we do. Oh, we have 2 players. Is this one tradable or untradeable? So as you can see here, 2,500 is the cheapest. I'm just going to keep the silvers because we'll probably end up using them. I did pick this guy up earlier. I might look at him because goalkeepers, like I said, have been banging. Yeah, so we're going to sell him and keep the other one. That's plenty of coins profit. I'm more than happy with that. But you can do this every single Thursday, especially if you can hit a good prediction like I did, where I knew Bundesliga had not been in for a while, and you can just see these goalkeepers are just flying up in price. Hits. You saw how many hits I have. I have an ungodly amount of hits, and they're just selling. You can list other goalkeepers as well at that price. Try to see if you can get more hits. I didn't mean to put that. That one was from the Calcio A. Yeah, Leverkusen players is what we need to check. I haven't looked. I'm not sure if I have a lot of Leverkusen players. But as you can see here, we do have some of that goalkeeper somewhere. I know we do. And imagine if the goalkeeper is the cheapest, how big we can hit. Oh, I'm searching by goalkeeper, that's why. But we can start listing our goalkeepers from that club at 2,500. And then it looks like otherwise we're at least going to get a K for them. I might do like 1,500, see what we can get. But as you can see, things are just slowly signing on, and these coins are just going up and up and up. So let's go ahead. Let's look for Leverkusen players. I don't know if I have any on the transfer list. Okay, we don't. I'm gonna go ahead and list one of those up at 1,700. See if he can sell on at that price range. Because if so, that's a major dub. Because I believe I have a lot of him as well. There's just more hits. We got outbid on a Wooly. That's not that big of a deal. Can go ahead and check what's sold, but it's constantly just flipping through all these things like this, and we can see who sold exactly here. So was Flecking is able to sell on at that price. So we can literally sit here. You don't want to spam because then you're just going to flood the market basically. Like if they're not insta selling, you need to either just take a breather and go look at some of the other cards you have or things like that. Just try to list like one of each. I don't know if I listed a horn. Can go ahead and list not as aggressively, but as time goes on, these things will go down and down and down and down and down. But if you're making double, triple, quadruple your money, it's literally you're just printing coins for not a lot of effort. As you can see here, I might be underpricing these 1,800. I just want to get as many gone as possible, like in a semi-quick fashion, because I am so unassigned, and I do want to still do it for myself at the end of all this. But yeah, it'd be nice if there's some more Ulrichs buried inside. Probably not a lot of this guy on the market to begin with, just because he's so high rated. So we'll just go ahead and we'll throw them up like that. And as you can see here, we have an insane amount of goalkeepers. We're going to put him at like 22 because we saw him at 25 earlier. They might have all sold. We're not really sure. Because you don't have time to just sit here all day long. But you have usually enough time that you can just go through and just spam list. And then just other things, like there might be a La Liga one, but I'm just focused on my goalkeepers and trying to sell as many of them. So I want to get through my listings, and I want to get into more unassigned players besides just the ones I have. As you can see, it's just, we got so many different goalkeepers that you're able to just go through and list up. We might even be underpricing those goalkeepers, but at the end of the day, we're making money if they're selling. If they're selling quick, it's even better. As you can see, we already sold 12 things, and the coins are just flying up, literally. Just flying. So I might have to go look soon at Bundesliga goalkeepers and see what the cheapest common one is and who they are, and look at selling them first. Because you can always do that too if you just want to not have to price it out as specific, like per whatever. And you can see here, there's not even a lot under 2K, but people will continuously be listing and things like that. And you can see, you could sit here and snipe if you even wanted, things like that. But if we go 1900, it's just going to be quick things. And you could just be sitting here making endless amounts of coins by sniping cards. But we've already invested. We can see if more things have sold. And as you can see, more things are selling on at 2K. So it's just, we're just printing coins. And you just go through this. And you just list. But I wouldn't recommend necessarily going like I went heavily into goalkeepers. That's not always going to bang. Because like if this isn't banging, I'm only making like, I'd maybe be able to sell them for like 700. It just depends on exactly what the requirements are and things like that and how rare certain cards get. But still at the end of the day, you still are making money, which is always a good thing. Because as you can see, we're just slowly going through and the cards are just selling and we're making good money. There's really no rhyme or reason. Like I could flood the market and they might all quick sell, but I don't want to accidentally crash it and then miss out on profit. So I'm happy to just list a few, check what's selling, see if anything's not selling. So as you can see, some of these non-leagues like Choupo-Moting was priced too highly because I got too aggressive with it. But all of my Bundesliga keepers, I'm pretty sure, have sold. Yeah, all the Bundesliga keepers are selling for hot money right now, and it's just going to continue to do that for the next probably hour or so, and then you'll start to see a downswing of cards and things like that. But we need to just keep going and going and going and taking our money. I'd like to get out of the unassigned first rather than list up everything that's on the transfer list, just because it makes it easier. And as you can see here, we still have things that we don't even have dupes of. That we're able to just send in the club and just create some more space right now, because I do also want to go ahead and do marquee matchups. But yeah, this is just nice to see because there's new promo tomorrow, so there's going to be potential to make even more money off of it. I need to check what Wu is going for, if he's actually changed pricing or if he's still sitting around the same amount as he was before. But I do need to list things just so I can get to more goalkeepers and make sure that I've got all of them up and listed. So you always got to back out to like refresh that basically. And then you click back into here. And as you can see, our coins jump again. And then you can see we're back into goalkeepers already. And like I said, we don't want to go too aggressive by listing too many at the same time. I know I'm just sounding like a broken record. I just don't want you guys to miss out on easy money because you're listing the same goalkeeper up 20 times in 1 minute. So there's a whole bunch of them, and then someone's just going to undercut you and get all those sales that you should be getting. And I'm sure Bundesliga center backs are probably up as well, just not the big jump like that we saw with goalkeepers. And like, I'm curious if because it's an off nation, if it's more expensive or less expensive. Am I seeing that properly? That there's not any under 3K? We're gonna get cheeky with it and really start aggressively listing this flecking guy potentially here. And like Wooly, I don't know if he's really up that high, but we're just gonna list. If not, we'll hold a little bit longer on the Woolies. I'm perfectly fine with doing that. I know I bought a ton of them as well. Basically, goalkeepers and Wooly is what the bulk of the investment was this week. And then we just sprinkled in other positions for semi-cheap. Did that 3K one sell is what I want to look at. Okay, it hasn't so far. So we can see who we have a lot of in the unassigned and then go from there and see what basically they're going for and start listing a bit more in bulk. And luckily enough, let's go 2,500 for Ulrich. We have some more Ulrichs. Bauman was selling for 2K easily. We only have one of this guy, so I'm sure he'll sell for 2K relatively easily as well. So hits, this guy we can sell a little bit over 2K probably. So we got a lot of Schwallows. Let's look up Schwalbe, because I know hits. We got plenty of hits. We have hits for days, literally. SCHW. Schwalbe. And you can see here, Schwalbe was up to 5K. I don't know if that's broken. We're definitely going to be listing him for, I don't know, I'm going to try one at 3,500 and see if that sells. But if that's the case, that's a nutty margin. Like, insane profit. Let's go on 3,800, just because that's easy to list. Then we'll go back over here. Let's start aggressively listing some of these other cards we don't have a lot of. Like, we've got a few of, but we don't have a ton of. But yeah, if that's the case, that is literally nuts for the Schwallows. Another one we can look at is the Mueller. Okay, so we listed like 3 up, and let's see if any have sold. And I can look at Mueller in the meantime as well. So something did sell, but it was that guy, okay. But as you can see, you can get too aggressive with your listings as well, and then just be missing out on some profit. Because we know Schwalbe will sell for around 2K instantly, or near instant. Yeah, so I think still around 1,900, 2K, we are very, very safe in listing. But you can see cards are just being packed more and more and more. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start spam listing. So this is kind of like a last-ditch effort at some of these cards and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and claim this because it keeps throwing me off when I see 15 things, but not 15 things haven't actually sold. But for some of these cards, I know we can just take the profit and be happy with it, so we're going to start doing that. But we still don't want to just blow all of it, because if we literally listed every single hits at the same time, it's not going to go very well. For some of these other cards, I'm just going to try to make around double our money. But we'll just have to see how things are going. But yeah, so now you can see my transfer list is starting to fill up, so I'll have to start listing cards that are on the transfer list already. I don't know why it glitches so much in showing cards. It's just like, hey. Alright, so. Something big sold. Or we sold a whole bunch, I don't know which. It felt like my coins jumped by more than that. But as you can see, this is basically the gist. I will just keep it running just so you can keep seeing the sorts of money we're going to be making by the end of this. I'm just doing this because it's just quick. Like, I might miss out on 200 coins times however many, which does add up over time, but I just like to get as many gone for that high of a price as I can. And I know they won't all sell because the market's being flooded by other people, not just me, because there's people opening packs and all that. And they just become rare when marquee matchups just start dropping because people just need these cards to complete the SBC. And if there's no goalkeepers for under 2K, then they're just going to go buy the cheapest one. So if I have 50 listed at the cheapest price, most of them will sell pretty quickly until someone decides that the cheapest price should be under mine. And that's when we'll see it start to transition the other way. But you can see I have little other things still mixed in on the transfer list. It's not just the goalkeepers, like I mentioned before. I'm just hoping by the end of this I don't have so many woolies that it's over 100. So I do have some space on the transfer list to keep working with. But yeah, this week was very, very good. I also had bought not even as many as I'd bought in previous weeks, but as you can see, we are just printing coins. And this was after I'd spent a ton on some other long-term investments. But I don't know even if you guys will enjoy this longer video, but you basically get the gist in the first 5 minutes of it. It's just me repeating myself and then sitting here and listing cards over and over and over again. Like I said, I'll list some woolies, but I don't want their price to crash either. And I'll probably try to use some woolies in SBCs when I'm going to go through and do the marquee matchups for you guys as well. And it helps also if you stagger them, you don't put them all for the same, but as you can see, most of the goalkeepers are selling relatively easily. The schwalbe was definitely too much of an aggressive list. But even at the end of the day, when those come back around, if I can sell them for 1,000 coins, then we're just chilling in lots of money. But yeah, I definitely might look into goalkeepers more often because of how much these Bundesliga ones boomed. It did make me a lot of money, and I don't think I bought over 300 cards. I could be wrong there, but I don't think I bought over 300. I didn't pay attention to my unassigned before I started putting it all in here. Because you could leave this on the transfer targets. If you haven't seen my other video on that, you should check it out as well. You can basically bid on as many cards as you want. And as long as you leave them on the transfer list, you can still open packs. You can still do whatever you want. And if you want to buy cards, you just have to do it on the web app. You can still buy it now. You don't have to bid either. It will lock your console up, though, from buying cards on the market. But if you're just going to sit on them for a day or two, I don't see the problem in bidding on a few hundred or even a few thousand, depending on how much money you have worth of cards. Oh, I just thought I was still listing goalkeepers there for a second, so I just listed a center back for 1,800. But yeah, I would say this marquee matchups was a massive W. And even when you're going through and doing the SBCs, no matter what, you're going to make some money back. Especially if you're using untradeable cards. So even if none of these are selling because I'm listing so many of them, I'm not really that worried about it because we've already made such a big amount of profit already. And like I said, even if I have to hold these and relist for the next hour, I'm still going to be making decent money. It's just not going to be this insane, basically tripling or quadrupling of the money depending on when I pick the card up at. And then we just have some movies. We can go ahead and list a few. We'll back out, see if I have any more over 50 or if we're finally caught up. Oop, hit the wrong button. So as you can see, the coins are just jump. They just jump. And if we go scroll way over here, you can see we got lots of goalkeepers still. But it hasn't even 5 minutes left. Most of them have sold already. So like I said, that's where I could be a little more aggressive if I wanted, not go up to like the insane amounts I was doing before at like 2,800 and all that, but I could definitely be listing at like 2K, 2.2K, somewhere in there to try to get more sales. And these are basically just lazy lists. If nobody buys them, nobody buys them. We'll just keep listing. And this is the profits you're just guaranteed every week, especially if you do it at the beginning in major positions. You'll just list them up and they'll sell, and you'll relist and they'll sell, and then relist and sell, and you just repeat that over and over and over again. But if you can get things like the goalkeepers where you predict right, you're just going to be making insane amounts of money. Like, especially if you would have known, if you would have guessed that it was Bayern players and you literally only went in on Bayern goalkeepers, like you bought 500 Ulrichs, you would have made, I don't know, $500,000 or more easily. But that's just like, you don't know that for sure. It's just like, it points towards that's what's going to be in marquee matchups potentially. And as you can see, our Choupo-Moting did end up selling, so even some of the aggressive things are selling as time goes on here. And yeah, I don't even know how much money we've made so far, but we haven't even attempted the actual marquee matchups themselves. But we are going to go in here and look at more goalkeepers. Let's go Bundesliga. And we'll just see what we got. So as you can see, it's just more money we're just sitting on. And at the end of the day, I would have been happy selling these cards at 1K, but I am ecstatic because of how high they jumped. And we were able to pick up not even a lot, because gold, if the gold rares weren't already inflated to begin with, they're probably not at this high, like 1,800. They're probably more around like 15, 12, somewhere in there. But because they were already inflated from so many people doing the other upgrades, that we're just able to capitalize on this heavily and make some insane profit. Let's see if we got any more. I'm curious even if the rares are going to be going for something. Because I took the goalkeeper part off. But as you can see here, we are ending off with another one. List him at 2K. We can go take a look again, and you can see just more and more coins coming in. But yeah, this other stuff will be like slow sells throughout the rest of the day, basically. The goalkeepers, if they don't end up selling, will just drop the next hour. But as you can see, most of the goalkeepers are gone. We've got these left to sell, but hopefully by the time the hour rolls around, we are done with that. We've got more Woolies. And at the end of the day, the beauty of buying things so low, if this Woolie doesn't rise this week, and I have to keep him when he goes back in packs, I still should be able to probably lazy sell him for 500 if I just wanted to get my money back. But I'm perfectly content sitting like this on cards like this for a week, 2 weeks, things like that, because I can just throw things into transfer targets when I'm trying to invest in something, things like that. I also will go over my long-term investments because I don't think I made a video about that either. If you go in to my club, you'll notice it's not in like gold rares or anything like that. We just went in on cheap special cards. Some of these are pack pulled, like Suarez, Thiago Silva pack pulled. But you can see we picked up the Dzeko for 11K, Hideki 11K, Azpilicueta to 13. Felipe Anderson, we were using him in the team for a little while. That's why he was so expensive, but we're just going to hold him for a while. Sabitzer probably is down because he didn't end up getting the inform. I'm not sure about that one, but I'll hold him for a while. I really enjoy his card this year. I was using his gold. We got, but I need to scroll. And now my game's going to be frozen. I hate when it does this. Just the menus just like lag so much they can't get anything done. But yeah, some of these are untradeable, but Locatelli is tradable. Talisca is tradable. I believe this Locatelli is tradable too, yeah. SBC, tradable, untradeable, tradable. And you can just see we picked all these up. I'm pretty sure untradeable again. Everyone besides Sabitzer was under 20k, but most of them are pretty close to discard, or they're pack pulled, untradeable, or tradable. Which I know they didn't really narrow things down, but we picked them up for next to nothing, basically, is what I'm saying. And as you can see here, it's just insane how much money we've made. And I still have a lot of common golds that I'm going to try to sell for around 900 and things like that. But we're almost up to 700k again. So this was a nutty week for market matchups. Hopefully this helped. Let me know down below if this actually did help you and you like this long style, because I could do this every week. But at the end of the day, you just want to be on when they drop. Hopefully invested in something that's going to bang. If not, you're still going to hopefully double or triple your coins. Thanks for watching though.